All right, so the bar in which all asymmetrical solids have to be compared to, in my opinion, is the reality. So in today's video, we're going to be comparing the all-new Storm DNA to the 900 Global Reality. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you like the jersey I'm wearing in this video or in any of my videos, go to coolwick.com, use my promo code Napoles10, that'll get you 10% off your entire order. Then down below in the description, there's going to be a link where you can order a reality or a DNA. It's a great way to help support the channel. So let's get real quick into the tech here. The reality features the disturbance asymmetrical core, and there's going to be a lot of similarities between these two balls. In 15 pounds, there's an RG of 2.49, a max differential of 0.052, and a PSA of 0.018. So it's a very strong asymmetrical core. And then wrapped around that is the S84 solid responsive cover stock that comes out of box at a 2000 grit finish. So then when we turn it over to the DNA, it features the super coil weight block, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.47, so a little bit lower, a max differential of 0.053, so a little bit higher than the reality, and a PSA of 0.023, which is on the higher side when compared to this reality. And then wrapped around that core is the Exo Solid cover stock that comes out of box as well at a 2000 grit finish. And both of these are freshly resurfaced to a 2000 finish so we can make them as similar as possible. Then when we talk about the layout, they are laid out just a little bit differently, as you guys are going to see here. The only difference is the first number here, where this one's going to be drilled 60 by 4.5 by 30. And this one's drilled 30 by 4.5 by 30. So very, very, very similar layouts. And what I'm looking for in a comparison between these two balls is a lot of similarities, but where the DNA is just going to be a little bit stronger than that reality. But what I'm hoping is that they both have a lot of down lane continuation, which is why, one of the reasons why I really like this reality. So we're going to be here at South Point on lane 63 on a fresh, typical house shot. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have a reality, if you like it, you don't like it, and if you're considering adding the DNA when it releases on March 17th. All right, first shot here. We're going to start in the reality. All right, that was a really good start to the video. Let's see if we can repeat that here. Miss right, slow. Yeah, that was a miss right and slow. Gotta move my eyes in here and stay firm. Oh, that 7 has to fall. All right, this is gonna be the DNA from the same spot. I'm looking for that same kind of continuation down lane. That definitely seemed a little earlier than the reality, but that continuation down lane is still there. I think I can move in with both of these balls. So this is going to be 2 and 1 left with the DNA. Good shot there. All right, so this is going to be the same spot, but in the reality to see. Good shot there. Yeah, I still think the reality motion's more down lane. Yeah, this is very interesting. Let's repeat that same shot here. One more here with the reality. Oh! All right, back to the DNA. Woo! And after filming, I'm gonna have to give that 6-pin a tip, put it in all that OT. All right, last shot here before our first break. All right, so we're coming off the lanes comparing the reality to the DNA for the first time. So 6 shots each, side by side. And I think that I'm seeing a lot of similarities in that DNA to the reality. A lot of continuation down lane for a strong asymmetrical solid. But I will say that the reality definitely out motions down lane the DNA. I would say by a considerable margin. I definitely feel like the DNA wants to be a little bit earlier, a little bit smoother, still very continuous when compared to the likes of like a proton physics, a gem, a supernova, and I will do those comparisons in the future. I just really wanted the first comparison to be to the reality. Now, as we start to migrate left, the question is going to be which one of these is going to be able to handle that oil in the middle down lane and not roll super forward down lane, because that's always the worry for me when I throw bigger asymmetrical solids, is eventually it's going to start rolling really forward. So now we're going to be in a race left to see which one of these is going to last the longest. So let's get back on the lanes here on 63 and continue to chase both of these in and create more shape. All right, back into the reality. Going to make a small move in just to see here. Man. All right, same spot there. That looked too good. Same. Missed in a little bit. All right, and then one more shot here, and then we'll get into that DNA from the same spot. Missed right. Hook a lot. Ooh. Reality's nasty, bro. All right, DNA from that same spot. Ooh, okay, we gotta move right with the DNA. Yeah, the DNA being earlier and smoother is gonna force me to stay a little straighter, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now when it does that, and then we're just gonna go right back to that same spot because that looked too good. There we go. And then back into the reality. We're gonna stay a little bit further left. See how long this can look good from here. See if we can't repeat that here. Oh, missed right by a mile. Wow, I thought that should have been 0. All right, the intent was not to get it that far to the right, obviously. So let's make a better shot. There we go, that's a good shot. All right, back in the DNA. Gonna try the same spot as the reality again, just to see. All right, I think we can definitely strike from here because I missed right and it recovered. So let's get it up the lane and go flush here. Oh. All right, let's see if we can't get this to be a little bit more flush here. All right, so the big thing that I'm seeing here so far when comparing the reality to the DNA is that the reality, because it has that weaker core, especially that PSA being lower, it allows me to get further left and shape it more than the DNA, whereas the DNA forces me to be a little bit straighter with my angles a little bit more shut down. Now, if we're talking about an arsenal for a house shot, I definitely don't think that you need more than just one of these two. And I think that they're going to be interchangeable in the bag. Like if you're just bowling league on house, pick one or the other. Now, if you were bowling a tournament, is when I think that you can have both of these in the bag because the shapes are that different from one another. Like I can definitely see myself starting in the DNA with my angles a little bit more shallow. And then as I have to get left, but still need that bigger ball, I can get into the reality. And I think that the strength levels are comparable to one another. So let's get back on the lanes, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to move a little bit left with the reality and move a little bit right with the DNA. All right, back in the reality, we are going to move left a little. Let's see how this looks. Let's slow it down from that same spot, and I think it should be magical. One more shot here with the reality. And then just for the giggles, same spot with the DNA. Oh, hold on. All right, so now I said for the giggles because I thought I had no chance. That was very surprising. Let's go back to it. That's more of what I was expecting. All right, one more shot here with the DNA. I got that in a little bit. That's a good shot. Back in the reality, same spot, because those are really good executed shots. See it from there. Ah! All right, let's not throw it as bad and trust that it'll make the corner here. All right, last shot of the video, the reality, and the last 3 shots will be all in the DNA. That was a really good shot. All right, back in the DNA. We're gonna stay left. Very surprised by that last group of shots. Oh! 6 into the 10, that's my favorite hit. See it from there? Yeah, if you get it in, there's so much oil. All right, last shot of the video here. Let's get away from that soup, make a good shot. All right, so now we're all done comparing the reality to the DNA, and I really enjoyed making this comparison because, anytime a ball comes out, I said, oh, I really hope it's similar to this, or it's very similar to this. Then you throw them side by side and you realize that the differences are more apparent than what you think. When I first reviewed the DNA, I thought that it was going to be almost a carbon copy of the reality, but throwing them side by side, I definitely see that the DNA is definitely stronger, earlier, and rollier when compared to the reality. The reality definitely wants to get through the fronts a little bit easier and wants to create more motion down lane. Still smooth in the grand scheme of things, but when compared to other asymmetrical solids. And I still stand firm that if you're bowling just a house shot league, if you're maybe a speed dominant player, maybe you can gravitate more towards the DNA, but I think they're gonna be pretty much interchangeable between the two on house. The big difference is going to be on that sport shot. Do you need something that's a little bit earlier, a little bit rollier, or do you need something with a little bit more motion down lane? And that's going to be the deciding factor between the two. So guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, as more than half of my viewers are not subscribed, and I'd appreciate just click that button. Till next time.